Still have a lot to do, I still have to put away the chairs. But anyway, I've got all the chores. Or anyway, it's up to me to do them all. I still have to put my clothes today. All in all, reality is cats, like an alley cat at your park. But now I gotta do your part. I got a day job and a night job and an interview at 5. You've gotten rid of both boyfriends and you've given me the green light. I got a day job and a night job and an afternoon away. You just waved a hand and we're engaged, you say. I've been up since 4 a.m. and finishing this at midnight. After this thing I should sell it and call it quits when the getting's good. I took a night at your new club today to take a break away from the rats. But now I got your locker stool and your car keys in my cart. I pick up the pieces left on the floor while you walk away like you don't care no more. I'm tired of cleaning every mess you make, slowly losing patience with every break. Every promise broken never leads to change. I'm the one who's always left rearranged. Your lack of effort shows clear as the day. I'll be sweeping you out when I find my way. Hey, hey, I'm the cleanup crew, fixing your mess just like it's new. Hey, hey, won't be here long, cleaning house, I'm moving on. Watching you take credit for the work I do, every single task I pull double through. Your empty words no longer faze me. Soon enough your history, just wait and see. Where's the spark, the dedication gone? I'm carrying weight, dragging us along. No more excuses, your time is past. This sweeps your fate, I'll make it last. Hey, hey, I'm the cleanup crew, fixing your mess just like it's new. Hey, hey, won't be here long, cleaning house, I'm moving on.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How is everyone doing today, tonight? Today is Thursday. Yes, it's already Thursday, May 8th. Yup, May 8th, 2025. Can you believe that? Can you believe how much we are zooming through the year? I'm telling you, it felt like it just started just the other day. And now we are about 20-ish days away from midpoint of the year, from the middle month of the year, from June, the 6th month of the year. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Hey, but the question is though, have you been working this year? Have you been doing all the things that you, maybe not all, but did you set a list? And are you working towards that list of the things that you want to accomplish in 2025 to head strong into 2026? Planning for 2026 started January 2nd, 2025. So my question is, are you getting ready? I am always getting ready. So welcome to the show. I am Tekotroph. We are engineered to win. Yes, we are. I love to win. I love to see you win as well. So please allow me to quote unquote help you to be more successful in all of your endeavors. All right. Let's jump into our agenda for tonight, and then we will get to the chat, and then we get to work, right? So first and very foremost, tonight's plan, we're going to continue to work on our port scanner. We got really close last week, but we didn't get to finish it off. We're going to start up Kali Linux. We're going to start up Metasploitable, two Metasploitable, so we can get some more IPs to run our test on, all of that good stuff. And we're going to continue where we left off. I have notes of where we left off last week, so we're going to just pick up from there, all of that good stuff. All right, that's the plan for tonight. But before we get into all of that, you guys know that I have to say a big hello, a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel, those who are brand new to the channel, so brand new, and those who have been with me for a very long time, those who are very active in the chat and in the comments, and those who are lurkers who watch silently but they still find value nonetheless. Thank you so much. I appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
And that includes those who are watching on Twitch and on X. I appreciate all of you on whatever platform that you may be watching. I absolutely appreciate you taking the time to allow me to add just a little bit of value to brighten up your day, just a little bit of insight from my crazy mind. Thank you so much. Shout out to all of you guys. All right. And next up, I want to say a big shout out and salute to all of the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon members, my tech barbarians, my tech prodigy members, my technical explorers, those who sign up for free just to support and follow along all the things that we're doing. Thank you guys so much. You are the best.
We the best.
And thank you to my tech mercenaries who keep this YouTube channel alive. Those are my YouTube members who allow me to be able to show up day in and day out. Let's get it. I'll talk about this after. But so real quick, upcoming shows. We have the Bug Bite premiering tomorrow at noon. We're going to be talking about a API key leak for a large language model from a XAI employee. I guess you call it like a grok, whatever they call it, employee. They leaked an API key and they did not fix it, and it could have been a mess. So we're going to review that article. Twitter, XAI, they have their own AI platform, and one of their employees leaked a large language model key. Very serious stuff. We're going to be reviewing it tomorrow. And let's see what else. We're going to be going live on Sunday for our working on DevOps Sunday afternoon. We're going to be continuing with the Kubernetes. Hopefully we don't have that same stupid issue that we had last time with Google Cloud platforms, Google Kubernetes cluster not starting up. So I'm going to make sure I do that early in the day so we don't have that issue again. So once we get started the stream, we can get right going and start working on our secrets and stuff like that, right? So that is our upcoming shows. And then, of course, pre-recorded shows for the next week, but I'll talk about that on Sunday, all right? So that is our upcoming show. So real quick, I was on my Discord and I was looking at some features and stuff like that. And I found out that there might be a way to also connect the YouTube members onto the Discord as well. So I'm going to be looking into that because I think that would be awesome, that if I can bring in the YouTube members and the Patreon members all into the Discord, so we can have some sort of discussion and stuff like that. I'm going to look into that to see all that's possible, right? But don't hold me to that, but I'm going to look into it to see if I can do it. And then, there's certain features and privileges that you can do based on where they're coming from. So I'll look into that, and we will make the most out of it. All right. So that is something that I'm looking into. Other stuff. All right. So do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. If you're on Twitch, give me a follow. If you're on X, give me a follow as well. Lastly, if you're looking for exclusive content, go to techcoachralph.dev. You can sign up for free and see all the things that we have to offer there. So, and you get like a free preview. I have some content that is free over there as well, but exclusive content in the tech industry, how to navigate tech. I'm working on videos about interviews. This weekend, I'm going to be chopping up to start releasing them within the next coming weeks. I'm going to be chopping up the amazing walkthrough that Magnetar, my guy Magnetar in the chat right now, gave us on federal employment, how to get in, the different levels, about relocation. So much golden information that I did not know about this stuff, but Magnetar has educated me. So I'm going to be chopping that up, and going to present it to you guys so that you guys can be well informed in case you are interested in working for the federal government, for the public sector. Magnetar put us up on game. Yeah, cheer it up for clap it up for Magnetar. All right, so with that being said, let's get over to our chat to say hello to everyone here. Say welcome. Let's see who we got in the building. First and foremost, Magnetar says, and now I am here. Welcome, Magnetar. So happy to have you here as always. And Magnetar also says, Sith Coach Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
We have in the building Junior. Junior says, what's up? What's good, Junior? What's going on with you? Hopefully everything is going phenomenal with you. And I sensed that Magnetar and Junior were hanging out at the same live stream. I wasn't able to get onto that live stream because I was getting ready for this, but shout out to you guys hanging out. See, and this is how you know you have the right people around you, people of good character, hanging out in the same places, moving as a unit, moving as a community. Magnetar says, Junior, what's up, bro? What's up again? And Magnetar says, hope it helps. Trust me. I'll tell you this. I'm going to talk about help, right? But it does help someone. It won't help everyone and it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's their fault, right? But we'll talk about that in a break, and I'll expound on it most likely on Monday's Candid Conversation. But I do want to talk about the subject of you helping others, especially on an individual basis. Let's see. Magnetar says, I got booed elsewhere. And Magnetar says, thanks to Trump and Elon. Look, Magnetar, look. See me? The way that I see it, I don't care. People have their opinions about 1,000 things. You just do what you have to do, and you keep on winning, whether you get booed, whether you don't, whether you get celebrated, whether you get booed, whether it's because of Trump, whether it's because of Elon, whether it's because of Biden, whether it's because of Harris, whether it's because of who else, right? It doesn't matter. You keep winning. Magnetar. Just nobody. At the end of the day, you are a winner. All right? And Junior says, not everyone is ready to receive the information and put it to use. Ain't that a fact? All right. So let's jump in like this before we get started with the show. Oh, that's not the one I want to do. Let's go with this. And I wanted to do a quick little icebreaker really quick. All right. So let's do our icebreaker. So I have been working on interview preparation, mock interviews. We were working on a interview technical project where you have to do some coding, stuff like that, some automation. I've been working on that with one of my tech barbarians. And so maybe like 3 weeks ago, we were working crazy on getting this project ready. And then we hadn't heard so submitted the project, hadn't heard from the company for a good 2 or 3 weeks. And then like a week ago says, hey, we want to interview you. This would be the final step of the interview. And and it's going to be in a week. All right. So we got right back to it. We mock interviewed every single day. And I was telling you guys the other day, started off not so good. And the next day, still not so good, but better than the day before. And then the third day, much better, but still needs work. Fourth day, getting better. Fifth day, it was much, much, much better, right? So had the interview. And so I'm like, all right, let me know when it's done. And it's like, oh, I don't know. They didn't seem like really interested in what I had to say and stuff like that. And I was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, right? Why do I say that? Why do I say don't worry about the response, or don't worry about the body language of the people who are interviewing you? All right. Why do I say that? So the reason that I say that is because, number one, I can't even count how many people I've interviewed in my, while I've been in this tech space, right? A lot. Let's just say it's been a lot. But a couple of things to remember when somebody's interviewing you, that the interviewer, they cannot show too much emotion, too much excitement about the person that they're interviewing, even if they really, really like the person. Also, depending on the interview what type of interview you're doing, who you're doing it with, some people generally don't have a very excited demeanor with whoever's talking to in the anyways, right? So you can't think about like, oh, they didn't look really enthused or excited or impressed and stuff like that. So for me, I always try my best to keep a even face, not to let anything out. And I'll tell you this. Sometimes when the interviewer looks very impressed with you, or they're very engaged with you in the interview, it could be that you're not going to get the job. Because I've been in interviews before where it's like, okay, yeah, that's interesting. But then at the end of the day, once all things considered, it's like, yeah, they didn't meet this criteria, that criteria. And this is I do mainly technical interviews, right? But I've done some of the team panel interviews, and it's people generally don't show that much emotion when they're doing the interview, because they're not going to they don't want to reveal their hand, So keep that in mind. The other thing, the last thing that I'll tell you, right, before, don't go jumping to conclusions and writing yourself off, because the last thing is people technical people who do interviews, especially for tech, we don't like doing interviews. That's number one. We don't like doing interviews. And we're also very, very, very busy. So we're probably coming off thinking of how to do this, how to do that, some other meeting here, there, all this other stuff. And then now we come into an interview that we're not really crazy about doing interviews in the first place, because we have to do so many of them, trying to find the right fit and having to technically judge if somebody's going to be good for the role or not. We don't like to do that, right? So it's so many. So now we're coming into this interview, and it's all right, let's go through this, and we might be tired. We might be we just don't have the time or the capacity to show that much in quote unquote enthusiasm. So there's many things at play. So when you go to interview, don't think about the interviewer. Think about you and you performing, you showing enthusiasm, you showing care, all of that good stuff, so that it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what the interviewer is saying or doing. It matters how you respond, how you interact, how you engage, because all of those things are being tracked and monitored, and they will be commented on. And like I always say, it also matters what questions that you ask. So, the person I'm coaching, they said they did seem to perk up once I asked my questions. I'm like, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, showing that you're asking engaging questions. So what's going to happen? I don't know. I really don't know, but all I'm saying is don't lose hope just because they didn't seem engaged, because it could be a multitude of reasons, a multitude of factors. All right. Just wanted to share that with you. Just keep working, keep applying, keep practicing, keep interviewing. And once they're ready, then they're ready. All right. So just wanted to share that with you. All right, let's go back to the chat before we get to our very, very first segment of work. We got my guy in the building, Maddox, over on the Twitch side of the game. What's up, Maddox? Hopefully you're doing well. By the way, Maddox, I went and I updated my Twitch schedule or calendar, whatever they call it. So it is there. It was always there, but I made some updates to it, some category assignments. Let me know if you're able to see it. If you have the chance, check out, make sure the schedule is showing up for you, because I remember you said I should go over there and update it. I did. Let me know, make sure that you can see it, make sure I did it correctly. I would really, really appreciate that, Maddox. All right. Thank you so much for always showing love and support on the Twitch side of the game. Let me see, make this a little so dark there, isn't it? Let me see. Hold on, give me a second here. Something look funny. All right, that works. All right, that works. All right, let's go and. All right, so let me see what else or who else we have in the chat. We got, oh my goodness, we have vacationing Rock the Scrub Roxy in the building. Good evening, Roxy. How are you doing? Hopefully everything is going well. Hopefully you are enjoying and having a phenomenal vacation. Let's see. Manchester, I wish you could have typed your answers instead. Nope. Look, I know you don't like interviews and stuff, Magnetar, but communication is really, really important. Communication is really, really important. So you got to work on all aspects. I know people might not like to talk and communicate, to get nervous and stuff like that. You got to work it out. Like me, I do not like to do public speaking, believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Bruh.
But that's why I have to challenge myself almost every single day, show up and have a conversation with you guys. Honestly, I'll tell you this. Honestly, competing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is what gives me more confidence to be able to do this. Because if I'm willing to get on a mat with a total stranger, like trying to rip off my arm or choke me to death, and I'm like, all right, well, coming and talking to you guys about the stuff that I love, working in tech, that is not a big deal for me at the end of the day.
Be the best.
All right, so just got to do it. You just got to do it, right? It's a part of the game. And Roxy says the hands. Is that the hands up or the heart? I can't tell. Let me see. The heart. Oh, shout out to you, Roxy. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Let's see. Roxy says that Magnetar looks like a rapper. He sure does. Roxy, let me ask you a question, Roxy. Has this profile picture always been up? Because I in a comment that Magnetar left me, I'm like, oh wow, you have a profile picture up now, and he's like, it's always been up. And I'm like, I have never seen this profile picture before. So you let me know, am I the crazy one, or is this a new profile picture from Magnetar? And yes, he does look like a rapper. And Magnetar says, you're saying extroverts are right in trying to pull introverts into their world. Extroverts are right in trying to pull introverts into their world. Look, I'm not saying that they're right or they're wrong. I'm just saying I don't take the world for how it ought to be. I take the world for how it is. If you do not market yourself, then you're giving, because look, you might be 1,000 times more knowledgeable and capable than somebody who is very vocal. But the fact that they can vocalize and articulate whatever it is that you might be better than them at, right? They're gonna look like the expert, and they're gonna get the win. So I'm saying, look, with extrovert, and the only difference between extroverts and introverts is the introvert, they have the capability of going out there and performing and talking. It's just after the fact they might be tired and worn out, but they can do it. They can go out there and perform. So I'm saying suck it up, go out there and perform, and then after it's done, go unwind and stuff like that, right? So that's all I'm saying. Let me see. Roxy says that's new. That's, you see, Magnus made me think that I was crazy. That is new. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you so. I thought I was crazy.
Bruh.
Let's see. We got my guy Mitch in the building. What's up, Mitch? How are you doing today? Hopefully everything is going well. My bestie's here.
Did we just become best friends? Yup.
We sure did. Let's see. Magnus says, didn't you hear? That is a good point. He does have a rap song available on the Frenemies album on all major streaming platforms by Tech Coach Ralph. Has the song King Snitcher by Magnetar. The hook, the chorus is by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. All right. Let's see. Who else do we have? Magnus says we need pizza. Says, let's see. It says, I did, but you didn't look like a rapper then. That's a good point. That is a good point. Let's see. Mitch says that he will battle anybody. Uh-oh. Do we have a competition? Mitch says, put the money up. And Roxy says, keyword, Mitch thinks he is a rapper. Wow. Let's see. Says pizza on Mitch and his Vegas dancing gang. You guys are too much. All right. Let's get to work. It's been long enough. It has been long enough. It is time for us to get to our very, very first working segment. All right, let me go and open up my PyCharm. Let's do that. And let me move it over here. And let me go ahead and switch to this screen over here. There we go. All right, so we have my PyCharm open with what we were working on. Where's my notes? Okay, that was our test. I remember now, we were doing our test. Let me open up my notes. And we need to do up next for May 8th. All right, so let me do that. And in the meantime, let me go over and open up my Kali Linux. So we're going to use VMware Fusion. And boy, oh boy, I have a lot to... Did I not? Let's start the timer.
It's time to do.
And boy, oh boy, I have a lot to talk about on Sunday, talking about DevOps. I've been working on DevOps stuff like crazy. If Favor comes here, I'm going to mention about the identity and access management, because I've been doing some all right, identity and access management video is the most popular video on my channel. It is also a lot, like it is really a whole field in its own. So really powerful area of DevOps, software engineering, cybersecurity to look into, because I think that identity and access management is a part of cybersecurity, but it can easily fall into DevOps and stuff like that. All right, let's go ahead and also open up Metasploitable. So I'm opening up UTM, and all right, so there goes UTM, and let's do this Metasploitable. Remember last time we had last time working on Metasploitable, it stopped like connecting or something. I don't know. But let's do Kali Linux. Let's do, I'll do one more. Hopefully one more is enough. It like doesn't mess up our computer. Let's see. We got those running. Let me check my resources. Oh, let me close some stuff off. Oh, they're closed already. Close this one off too. Making some space. Making some resources. All right, we should be good. We should be good to go. Oh, yeah, we were good. All right, cool. So we have Metasploitable starting up. We have Kali Linux up and running. Kali Linux first. Let's see. Make sure there's no info. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. All right, cool. So there we are. So we have Kali Linux. We have. All right, let me organize my screen a little bit. Kali Linux, Metasploitable, and another Metasploitable. All right. So there goes our VMs, and we're gonna say msf admin, msf admin. This one is starting. And let me see, what can I do with this? All right, let's go to, let's do a if config. So our IP on this one is .33. Let me check the ones that is on my local machine. That one is, I should do IP. Let me see. This machine's IP is I don't even know. Where is that IP address? Let's do it this way. Let's do it. IP config, get if addr en0. So this one is 192.168.86.39. Let's see what this one is. If config. This one is .41. This one is .33. And this one is msf admin, if config. This one is .41. That's not good. They should both not be .41. Maybe that's what was causing the issues the other day. Let's do, yeah, this isn't good. They both should not be .41. Let me see if I can turn this one off. I don't know why that's .41 as well. Let me see if I can go to, let me see if I can go to UTM and see if I can get the, get a separate IP address for this one. Oops. Let's see here. All right. So we can do an edit, network, bridge, en0. Go with automatic on this one. We save that. I can't edit this one. All right, let me try to start that one over again. Because I just want a different IP address. That's one thing. Let's minimize that. All right, so if config, this is .41. We'll wait for this one to start. This one is .33. And my local is .39. All right. All right. So while that's getting started, all right. msf admin. All right. So let me do if config again. And I don't see an IP address. They put a IPv6 on there. Strange. Let's see. Why did it put an IPv6 on there? Try that one more time. Let's see. I mean, if it's not a big deal because we have at least as long as we have two different servers, we should be good. But just weird. Where is my where'd it go? Where's my ATM? Blind. Let's see. I don't know where the thing went. All right, anyways, whatever. Let's just leave it at that. So we have this .41, we have this .33, all right? So let's go into our code, what we're here for. Not gonna let us get derailed by something else. All right, so what we want to do today is convert to a list with functions instead of before passing into the function. Handle. So that was for handle. So we did that. Handle passing in just one IP. Loop through a range of IPs provided. So for today, check why we're running the script. It is passing in the list while test passes in string. Check if we need to update how the test is passing in data or vice versa. Write out more tests for the different scenarios. All right. So what we last had is shout out to Return of the Dolmet over on the Twitch side of the game. Thank you so much for following along. Truly appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm telling you, we are growing on Twitch. So shout out to everybody out there on Twitch. Appreciate it. All right, let's go. So let me see. Let's run this real quick. And which IPs would we like to scan? I am going to do 192.168.86.1 through 192.168.86. My IP was 41. No, my IP was, what was my IP? What was my IP? My IP was .39. So I'm going to go up to 38 because if we run it on our IP, we're going to get booted from the stream. All right. So let's do, and now we're going to do scan on port. Let's say 21. And all right. So yeah, I did look into this last time. All right. After the show. And yes, I didn't even change anything, but it is passing in a list of IPs. So that is what we wanted. Let's see. I don't know why. So there goes the list that it's supposed to be passing in all the way up to 39. What was mine again? Oh shoot, we don't want that. Let's stop it. I don't want it to go to 39. But you see, it's getting stuck at 2. I wonder why. Is there a way to... So last time we added some code to say... Because if it is not accepting, then it shouldn't wait for it. So let me see. Didn't need this last time. Let me uncomment this just for a second to see what's happening here. I'm gonna comment this out, and we are going to run it again. And I'm just gonna do it on let's do it on one IP, right? Let's go to 192.168.86.1, and let's do port 22. So resource warning, unclosed socket, on line 94. Range of ports to scan. So I only passed in one IP, and it's trying to do. Wait a second, what in the world? I passed in one. Is some, let me see. Says one test passed. Where am I past? Oh, no wonder, because we are doing all right, so yeah, I'm running the wrong thing. That's why. All right, let's do this. Let's run the scanner. And 192.168 1.86.1 to 192.168.86. Let's do that one, right? We'll go here. See, on port 22. And we're unable to connect. All right, so that's what we wanted. So now let's run it again. This time we're going to do 192.168.86.1 to 192.168.86.5. All right. Port 22. And it says that unable to connect on 1. However, it gets stuck on 2. Why is it getting stuck on 2? So if I go over to my, let me try to ping 192.168.86.2. It says host is down. So if the host is down, why are you trying to force I wonder if we could do, so our code is correct, but so let's say if we stop that, because right now it's just waiting to connect to that. So I wonder if we could do like a, what do you call that stuff? If we could do some type of timeout after a certain amount of time, 192.168.86.41. And we say port 22, and that connects right away. So if I do, now I'm going to do it again. If I do 192.168.86.3, and I say port 22, it freezes. See that? Let's say I do 192.168.86.5, and I go port 22 again, still freezes. So the question then becomes, why on port 1 it doesn't freeze? Right away on 1 it doesn't go, but on the other ports it is. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of research. We're going to do a little bit of research because this is part of building this, because we don't want to just hang forever on these ports. So we are going to search for scanner socket connect. So scanner socket connect, I'm going to search for this, and I'm going to look for a way to specify how long to wait. All right, so Let's go over to this screen over here. Oh, look at that. My large language model stuff, right? So let's go to Python, scanner socket, timeout. So when implementing a scanner in Python using the socket connect method, it's crucial to handle potential delays or failures in establishing connections. This is achieved by using timeouts. A timeout ensures that the connect attempt doesn't block indefinitely what's happening to us now, preventing the scanner from getting stuck if the target is unreachable or slow to respond. To set a timeout for socket connect, the socket.setTimeout method is used before attempting the connection. The timeout value is specified in seconds. If the socket is not established within the given timeout, a socket timeout exception is raised, allowing the program to handle the failure gracefully. So where do we have the socket? So we would do socket, so sock.socket, so sock equals socket.socket, and then socket af, socket.af inet, and socket. All right, so set the timeout. So sock.set timeout is here, and then try socket connect. Okay, I got it. So we're gonna implement this. Let's take a look at our code real quick before we go to break. We have, all right, so we have scanner. All right, so here we have it. So we can actually, okay, yeah, this matches perfectly. So we can actually do this right now. We have a little bit of time. So let's go to, we're gonna go here. We're gonna say sock or scanner socket dot set timeout, and we're gonna say a float. Let's say, can I say half a second? 0.5? I think that's still too long. Let's say 0.25. A quarter of a second, all right? Or I could do probably, if 1,000 is 1 second, let's say we divided by, no, 1 second divided by 1,000 maybe? That makes it 1 millisecond, I think. I think that's right. Because 1 second is 1,000 milliseconds. So if I do 1 divided by 1,000, that should give us 1 millisecond. All right. So now we say try and accept. Let's do accept.
Lunch break.
Timeout. And I'll just put a pass in for now, and then we'll continue on this once we get back from break, all right? But the time has come for us to go to break. All right, so that was our very first working segment. We are on our way. Building our port scanner, we have, I identified that the reason that it was getting stuck last week is because of a potential timeout. I wasn't setting how long to wait, so that's what we're working on right now, right? But the time has come. It is break time. Let's check the chat and see who we got in the building. Alrighty then. Where's my mouse? All right, there we go. So let's see what's going on. We have, let's see. Let me see what's going on in the chat. I see you guys are having a lot of fun in there. Let's see. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot going on in here. All right, so Roxy had said about Mitch's rapping abilities that he is a candy rapper. A candy rapper. Wow.
Bruh.
No love at all. Mitch says that hate isn't good. Magneto says, oh, she called Mitch a candy rapper. Oof, that was kind of harsh. I'm telling you, I hear you, Magnetar. I'm with you, Magnetar. Says I'm being supportive, Candy Man, and gave him a name. Shots fired. Says I didn't say rapper. I said candy rapper. But we. I mean, We knew Magnetar. We knew. Let's see. You can't fit the hustle inside of a rapper. there goes those rapping skills. You see, look at that. He is not a candy rapper. You see that? Look at that. That's all you got. Trash that line. Okay, Roxy is not. I repeat, Roxy is not impressed. We got my guy Wave Nerd in the building. Says hello, good people of the chat. Roxy, Techotroff, and everyone else. Shout out to you, Wave Nerd. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing phenomenal.
Let's get it.
Let's see. Mitch hit us with the line. Even when I win, ultimately I lose, so I'm not entertaining your foolishness.
Bruh.
Let's see. Mitch says, when I win, they say, why you gotta go against the girl? Oh my God. So I'm already in a lose situation. That's a good point, Mitch. That is a good point. Rock says, I cannot rap. I didn't expect you to rap, Roxy. I did not expect you to rap. Mitch says, I rest my case. Says you can battle Magnetar. And Mitch says that Magnetar does not want that smoke either. Wow. Wowzers. Black or white smoke. You guys are too funny. Let's see. Junior says, is that a dryer right here running in the background? You could hear that? I didn't think you could hear that, Junior. I did not think you could hear that. All right, let me make some adjustments over here. Let me make some adjustments. Wow, you have some good ears. You have some good ears, Junior. Let's see. Tell me about it, right? Let me see. Let me get the dryer. Let me get the dryer stopped. See, now Junior got me all self-conscious and stuff. I have to go and stop the dryer. It is terrible. Let's see. See what I can do. Let me see what I can do, Junior. Where is that? All right. I have requested for the dryer to be stopped, so hopefully that happens. I don't know. Let's see. It says TCR's coin. I'm trying to make some extra money, and Junior is not letting it happen. All right. It's rough out here. Junior says it shows that he's paying attention. That is a good point. We got my guy Rod Brown from the Nourishing Word in the building. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing? Hopefully everything is going well with you. Let's see. Junior's being a great student. He is being a great student. Let's see. It's on an app. Says he got those expensive headphones on. Can hear everything. No. What's app is on an app, and I just sent a message to say, can you turn the dryer off? That's all. My dryer is not on an app. In order for it to be on an app, it needs to break, right? And then you see, I always wait for something to break before I upgrade. All right, most of the time. All right. Anyways, let's get to our very, very first break time conversation for tonight. So, all right, let me see. Where's my brother? All right, let's do this. All right. First break time. Should you continue to help? So, kind of like what I was talking about, referencing to a little bit earlier, when Magnetar said, hopefully it helps about the federal employment information that he shared, and that I'm going to be clipping up, putting in Techotroff Patreon, techotroff.dev, sign up today. You can sign up for free. I'm going to be putting some of them for free. Some of them are going to be tiered. Techotroff.dev, right? Anyways, so I ask myself this constantly, right? And now I almost feel bad talking about this now that Rod Brown is here, because Rod Brown likes to try to hold me accountable and make me be a good person. So far, he's been a bit unsuccessful, but I always ask myself, should I continue to help, right? Should I continue to offer up my time to help people, all right? And it's not ever, I do it. So a lot of times, you're like, oh, I just want to help everybody. But then you see, when you get to the point of helping people who do not actually want to be helped, it is going to be very, very, very draining on you. All right. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna put 5 minutes on it because I do not want this to turn into my Monday candid conversation. This is probably a prequel for Monday's candid conversation where I probably dive a little bit deeper in it, right? But we've had this conversation here all the time about compassion and empathy and all that good stuff. I already have a totally different view of empathy, which I'm more than happy to talk about, but I am not the most empathetic person. I'm more of a sympathetic person, right? I try not to spend too much energy trying to put myself in other people's shoes because guess what? Even if I was to put myself in somebody else's shoes, I might react differently than their situation. The way that Rod Brown might react to something might be totally different than the way I would react to something, even if I put myself in his shoes, so it doesn't even make sense. Now, with sympathy, I can understand what Rod Brown might be going through, and I can offer sympathy and like, all right, you know what can I do to help you, as opposed to just, I'm just gonna put myself in Rod Brown's shoes, and now maybe I might feel what he feels, maybe not, who knows, right? But a lot of times, when we start to put a lot of energy in people just because we feel, and I think a lot of times helping is so you can feel a particular way as opposed to what's actually being done for the person. So for me, I learned that you have to separate helping versus giving. And I had to think to myself, you know what? I would rather just give somebody something nowadays instead of investing time to help them, because you might invest a bunch of time helping somebody in whatever it is that they want, but then they don't show up with what Junior was saying earlier. They don't show up to put in their part. So you might give them the greatest opportunities, but then they're not really into it, and then they squander it. And then they come and they're like, oh, things didn't work out. And I'm like, well, you want to know? I'm like, actually, it did work out, because exactly as I told you it would go is how it went, because you did not embrace the help that was given to you. And then on the person who's doing the helping, it can be really, really, really draining. And I'm like, and then I think to myself, all the people who do reach out to me, who's like, hey, I have this idea. Like, oh, we can make this work. We can make that work. And we can try this. We can try that. And I'm like, oh, you know what? But I'm focusing on the people that I'm supposed to be helping. And I'll tell you this, even if you are getting somewhat compensated for the help that you're giving, it's probably not enough. And even if you're getting compensated and then you help, but then they don't make use of it, the compensation isn't worth it. Because you could probably be doing something, you could probably be working with people doing something way more better, building your own stuff, investing in yourself, especially when people don't want to invest in themselves. You can be investing in yourself and win that way, right? And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, right? I don't know if you guys have noticed this. When you work hard, everything else that people say sounds like excuses. It sounds like excuses. When you're up early, going to bed late, managing a bunch of stuff, shifting tasks, like jumping from task to task to task, doing a bunch of stuff. When you are the one working hard, and then other people are asking you for your insight, for your advice, for your help, and then you give it to them, and then they're like, oh, but this, oh, but that, blah, 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 blah. It just sounds like an excuse. It just sounds like an excuse. Right? So it's like, then you're like, why? What gives? Are you, what should you focus on? Right? And for me, honestly, it's like I'm moving towards, like, I have to see something in somebody in order for me to want to care, to want to, like, because Not everybody wants it. Not everybody wants it. And now you invest your time, your energy, your money, because time is money. And just for them to like, brush it off, it's like, why? You know, it's like, why? When I see people who are working very, very hard and they're accomplishing things.
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
Then I want to give my time to them. But it's really like there'll be times like you give the foundation and there's no movement. And some people get an opportunity and they just waste it all away, and it is so, so unfortunate. Anyways, that's my thoughts. I'm going to go a lot deeper into it on Monday as I finish gathering my thoughts around this, because it's aggravating. And the sad part about it is it hurts other people who can benefit. But when you start seeing a pattern that you help this person, wasted, help that person, wasted, help that person, wasted, you might get like, it might be at the 9th person who would actually value it. But you get to the 50, like, I don't even want to waste my time. And now the person in 9th place, they might have actually really ran with it with your help. But the first 5, like they say, you know, I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to do me and find people who rock with me and go in the same direction that I'm going. Right. Anyways, that's it. That's my thoughts behind that one. Let me check the chat, and then we're going to get back to work. All right. So let's see what we have in here. Mitch said he has one of those expensive headphones. You can hear everything. Rocky says, message the wife to stop the dryer. That's my smart outlet. Rocky, that's my smart outlet. Get a smart outlet. I don't like, so the first thing is about a smart outlet. The dryer has a super huge plug that's not going to work on a smart outlet. And probably not a good idea to just stop a dryer like that. But I would have no problem getting a smart dryer. Also, my robot vacuum app, they had a survey questionnaire type thing saying, what kind of help would you like in your house? And I said, definitely laundry. Find a way to wash, dry, and fold laundry. So hopefully there's a robot coming out for that soon. I will be the first in line to get it. I've been waiting for a robot that folds laundry. Hopefully the Tesla bot will fold laundry. Let's see. Junior says, I use those smart outlets. They work very well. Yes, I have a bunch of smart outlets. It just wouldn't work well for the dryer. Since I should get a couple of, you should, like, especially like around Christmas time. I have it to control the lights. I have a smart sprinkler system where I can put it on a schedule. I have the lights that I have on the patio. Sometimes when somebody doesn't unplug it, it's plugged. Like, I have that plugged, so I can just say turn on the patio lights and then all of that good stuff. So let's see. It says, you are a nice person, TCR. Don't front. I didn't say I wasn't nice. I am a very, very, very nice person. But I value my time above my niceness. All right. Junior says, I feel the same way. It's a waste of time when I try to show people things that they don't want to know. So I just keep quiet until they show interest. And you know the thing about that though, by the time they show interest, you might have already moved on, and you're like, you know what? It is what it is. He says that's a fact. It's all excuses, especially if they don't give a solution behind the excuses. I'll tell people, like, when somebody comes with an excuse, I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? I believe that there is a solution to every I was about to say to every problem, but there's a solution to every excuse. There is a solution to every excuse. There is so many things you can do. Like whatever the excuse, I'll give you. I wouldn't even get to that. Right. So, but I have built systems around myself, like for myself, when I need to accomplish something, I follow that system, you know, and I always get the results that I want. So it is what it is. Rod Brown says, "You help me, so I guess you care about me." Of course, of course. But I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you, Rod Brown. I will be honest with you, because I see how hard you work, your dedication, your care. I have absolutely no problem working, and I don't even consider myself helping you. I say that I am working with you. I consider myself working with you, Rod Brown, because you're putting in the work. Your video quality, your production quality, it is absolutely phenomenal. Go subscribe to The Nourishing Word. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. But the fact that you actually do the work and you can see the growth that you had, and you're always looking into, how can I do this? How can I do that? All that stuff. I'm like, you know what? I have absolutely no problem working with you, Rod Brown. But if I was to tell you something and then 6 months goes by, 12 months go by, and you haven't done anything, I'm like, what? Like, probably by month 3, I probably wouldn't be talking to you much. I'm just saying. I am just saying.
Bruh.
And I'll tell you this as well. I was helping someone set up a podcast. I think I might have mentioned it on this channel before. Helping them set up a podcast a while ago. And today I get a message saying, "Oh, my first episode is out." I'm like, "What? Let's go!" And I'm going to work to bring them on this channel so I can have a conversation with them. And I'm going to share their probably not this stream, because I have to check it out, find the link and everything like that. But I will share their podcast on this stream. Also though, I'll probably share it in a month, because I have to check to see how consistent they're going to be. Because I don't want to be recommending something. I'll tell you this. I don't want to be recommending something that like, all right, I tell you about this podcast, and then a month goes by, maybe 2 months goes by, and there's no episodes being dropped. So I have to make sure that there's going to be some type of consistency. I used to share some other people's channels, and then they just up and disappeared. And I'm like, all right, I have to be careful on the channels that I share, that I promote, right? I don't mind sharing somebody's channel, but promoting them, gotta be careful. I have to be careful, all right? So let me do one thing real quick. Let's do... let's see. Do one thing real quick. All right. Okay. So, anyways, let me see the chat. I got Rod Brown, with the laughing, and Junior says that's a fact. Rod Brown's production quality is definitely great. Yup. I'm telling you, like, it's works really hard. All right. Let's get back to our second segment of working on the code. Let's see. Rod Brown says, "Okay, time to." What is that? What is that next to Rod Brown's name? What in the world is that? I don't know. Anyways, let's get to our second segment of work. Let's do it.
Let's go!
All right, so we are working towards adding this, the timeout, right? So I said, let's do, is a millisecond? I think a millisecond is enough. Let's do a millisecond, and we're gonna say, for now, I will say, print colored, and we're gonna say, timed out connecting to IP address. I'm going to comment this out anyways, but just so that we can get this in here, IP address on port number, and I will say yellow. Not that we're going to see it in this console anyways, but Why do I have double? Something wrong here? Let me see. Wait, what? Print. Colored. Why do I have two? Why do I have two? So why don't I have two here? Oh, that's why. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's run that, see what happens. We're just gonna do it on 192.168.86.2, port 22. There we go, perfect. We got a timeout right away. That is what I wanted to see. All right, so with that being said, now let's try to run the script, or run the, not the script, but 192.168.86 dot 86 dot. If we finish early, then I'll just spend the time working on my unit test that we were doing the other day as we got derailed. But it was worth it though. So let's do 192.168.86 dot. Let's say our IP is .39. So we'll stop at .38. And we will say port number 22. Ooh, wait, look at that bad boy. Look at that bad boy. Let's see. 33 should have connected. Oh no, 33 is not going to connect because that is the Kali Linux. So let's do this again. Let's do 192.168.86.40 all the way to 192.186 or 168.86.250, and we'll say port 22 again. And look at how fast that's going. So if we go all the way to the top and we check 41, boom, successfully connected. All right, so here, look at that. Nice, I love it. So let's go ahead and let's clean some stuff off. Let's take that off, and we're gonna say pass, because I don't want any notification. Maybe we could add a logger to it at some point. I'll look into that, to adding a logger where the logger is just going to document it, but it's not going to show it out in the console. Let's see. So now let's run it again. 192.168.86 dot. Let's go with 40 to 192.168.86 dot 250, and let's do it on port 3306. And all right, still have some extra code. Let's take off the extra code. Let's see, where's this extra code? We are here. Successfully connected. We only want the successfully connected. So let's go ahead and take this one out. And well, this one can stay because that's the list that it's giving us. Let's wait. Let me see. What is it? Top. We have. All right. So we have. All right. So this one can stay. This. I'm gonna take that one. I don't need the list. Let's take out the list of IPs. We know that it's working. And let's go. Let's take this one out. IP address being passed. Let me see. Being passed. That is here. Let's take that out. All right, let's do it again. Let's run it again. 192.168.86.40 to 192.168.86.250. And let's do 3306 again. 3306 isn't open. I thought 3306 was open on one of these machines. Let's do. We'll do port 21 again. 192.168. What is the port for SQL? MySQL. I don't know. 86.40 to 192.168.86.250. Port 22. Successfully connected on port 22. Let me see if I can start up another. I think I was looking for it in the wrong spot. Okay, I got it. All right, so let's cancel this. And let's edit this. Network. Let's save that. Try to run that again. I'm just trying to get, if I want to have more than one IP address available to connect to. So we'll see. And shout out to those who are watching on X. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Shout out to those watching on Twitch as well. For those who are new followers, thank you guys so much. Shout out to those watching on YouTube. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
All right, so this is getting started. And let's do MSF admin. MSF admin. IF config. Hopefully it has a new IP address. It's still sharing that IP. That sucks. Why is it sharing the IP? Has the does it have the same MAC address? Hold on. Maybe that's why. Let me stop it. Maybe it has the same MAC address, because I really want two separate. I want two separate machines. Let's see. Because that's what's gonna make it really cool. Let's edit that, and I am going to switch the MAC address. Start that over. Yeah, maybe because that makes sense. Because if it has the same MAC address, then it would have the same IP address, I suppose, right? So we'll see. Let's see. Oh my God. I just checked my jiu-jitsu school's group chat, and we have acai bowls available. The sad part is I won't be in class until Monday because there's competition this weekend. There is competition this weekend. I have to wait. Anyways, let's continue. MSF admin, IF config. All right. Ooh, we have a new IP address. We have a new IP address. All right, let's run this. 192.168.86.40 to 192.168.86.250. Port 22. What? Why didn't you get 47? Why didn't you get 47? Why are you timing out? I mean, all right, so let's try this, because it should have got 47. 192.168.86.47. That's what it is, right? 47. 86.47. Yeah, I should have got 47. 22. Yeah. So should have. Why are you doing me like this? Why are you doing me like this? 192.168.86.40 to 182.168.86.250. Port 22. Ooh, we got an error. No route to host. What do you mean by that? Once let me see. No route to host. Scanner.connect. So what's the exception that we got? OS error. Make sure the stream is still connected. OS error. What does that mean? No route to host. Well, you know what that means? That means we have to do a search. Let's see. Python socket OS error, no route to host. So that means the system cannot find a path to the destination IP. This error arises from network configuration issues, a non-responsive server, a firewall blocking. Let's see. Oh, no, my connection is good. Let's see. That's weird. Let's try that one more time. 192.168.86.40 to 192.168.86.250. 22. No route to host. Why would you say such a thing? Let's try to ping. Ping 192.168.86.47. Ping works just fine. Ping 192.168.86.41. Ping works just fine. So if we go to this line right here, scanner.connect. So here it's telling me that there is an OS error. No route to host. Well, I am going to throw in an except OS error, and I will do a print OS error. Let's do this here. EE dot. Let's go with that. All right, so let me try it again. So what I'm pretty much doing is I am saying if I get the OS error, do it as an exception and then run it again, and just skip that line, all right? So 192.168.86.2.40, 192.168.86.250. Port 22. And everything says, so everything's all of a sudden now we're getting a bunch of OS error. No, all right. So another thing to figure out, why are we getting that? If using SSH, open port 22 or the configured SSH port in the firewall, implement error. All right, we got that. There were no changes to the network. Python socket, all of a sudden getting OS error. At the operating level system after affecting OS socket operations. Here's a breakdown caused another program is already using the port you're trying to bind your socket to. Oh. Solution: finding the conflicting process. Use tools like netstat, resource monitor. Enable socket reuse. Use socket set socket opt socket SOL socket before binding socket to allow reuse of the address. Okay, we'll look into that. Connection refused. The server you're trying to connect to is not running or is not listening on a specified port. Maybe it's this. Let's see. Do I have a tool called netstat on here? Let me see. We were so close. And then we ran into a bit of a detour. You know how these detours go, right? So let's do I have something called netstat? I do. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of stuff happening there. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. What the heck? Hope I didn't mess anything up. All right. Some water. All right. Let's see. So they said to do netstat dash toolpin. What's that? Netstat dash toolpin. Unknown unknown. Let's see. Netstat help. Whoa. Stat dash help. I don't know. Let me just try closing this out altogether and then opening it back up. Maybe we need to, you know what? Maybe we need to close the socket.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Let's do that. Then we're gonna go to break. All right. Well, we shall continue after break and see what we can figure out. We will see what we can figure out. All right, but it's break time. It is break time. You make progress, then you take a small step back, but then we're going to continue to move forward, right? That's how we roll. That is how we roll over here. Let me see if there's anything new in the chat before we get to our next topic of conversation. And no, we do not have anything new yet. So let's go ahead and get to our next conversation. So this next one that I have over here is about fastest growing roles for graduates. Yes, yes, yes. The fastest growing roles for new grads. This article is brought to us. This news article is brought to us by LinkedIn, and they're sharing what I don't know where they got the data from, but we're gonna find out. So let's jump into it. Let me put 5 minutes up before we get back to work. And let's go over here. So this says the fastest growing role for graduates. Let me click on see more. And it says, where are today's graduates getting hired? LinkedIn's annual grads guide highlights the fastest growing jobs, industries, and cities for recent grads. Tech and business roles dominate the list for those with a bachelor's degree, while durable fields such as construction and utilities are top destinations for entry-level roles. I wonder what type of roles in construction and utilities. Read the full report to learn more and check out our unlocked LinkedIn learning courses highlighting tips for every part of the job search. Free until June 30th. Free 99? Yes, free 99. So let me see, what else can we find out from this? So let's take a look at this grads guide. Grads guide for 2025 in the US of A. All right, let's see what it says. So this was on May 7th. Today's May 8th. So this was written yesterday, May 7th, 2025. Feeling the pressure of the job hunt right now? You're far from alone. That's a fact. The job market can be quite overwhelming. It can be, yes. Especially with so many unknowns, especially as a new graduate. Like, you probably had an internship, but you don't really know all the ins and outs of how things work, interviews, stuff like that. So I'm sure it can be quite daunting. But the right insights can help you navigate what's next with more clarity and confidence. That's where LinkedIn's grads guide comes in. Give me a second. They're about to put another load in the dryer. I was like, hey, Junior said the dryer is too loud, so please don't put another load. So consider it done. Consider it done, Junior. Consider it done. All right, anyways. It says, before we dive into where opportunities are, let's take a look at the landscape. Hiring is down across most industries. The class of 2025 will be competing with each other as well as with more experienced bachelor's degree holders, all the while facing rising expectations from employers who expect more skills, experience, and readiness to hit the ground running. And that's why I always tell people, you cannot depend on a job to give you training. On the job training is for the ins and outs of that particular job, but if you think that they're going to train you from zero, then it is not going to happen. Let's say you want to be in DevOps, right? I would expect you to know how to do DevOps, like using AWS, using Microsoft Azure, using Google Cloud Platform, whichever platform it is, knowing how to use it and not expecting the company to teach you how to use it. Your job is going to be able to know how to use it, and then the company's going to teach you how to use it within their organization, but you should not expect them to teach you from scratch, right? You need to put in that work yourself. While finding a job is hard across the board, younger workers are feeling the squeeze more than the overall workforce. The youngest generation of workers feel least confident in their ability to get or hold a job right now, according to LinkedIn's latest workforce confidence survey. I think a big part of it has to go with how much time you invest. So many people are so concerned with work-life balance, but they put more time to the life part instead of the work part, when the work part is supposed to fund their life. So it's just crazy out here.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
I'm just saying, like, We want to focus so much on having fun and partying and stuff like that, and we don't invest in ourselves so that we can grow, we can get the opportunities and then grow within those companies and within those industries and becoming subject matter experts. Amid growing concerns around job stability, a separate LinkedIn survey shows that nearly 70% of Gen Zers plan to look for a new role this year. With more competition on the horizon, what can new grads do to find and land their first role? Let's get into it.
Move on, back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
This is pretty long. Maybe I'll do a longer video. Maybe I'll do a separate video on this, but let's do a quick, let's spend like another 2 minutes on this, all right? Let's see. Well, let's just look at this. Let's just look at the growing titles, right? Maybe I'll do another video going through the whole article, but I just want to see the fastest growing job titles for new grads, right? Recent grads are prioritizing roles in growing fields like AI or stable entry points that offer clear pathways for upward mobility, like a law clerk. Interesting. I didn't think about law clerk. Right. So the number one fastest growing job title for new grads is artificial intelligence engineers, AI engineers. Shout out to to working early in the mornings to learn large language models. Number 2 is law clerk. I was not expecting a law clerk. I was not expecting a law clerk to be a fastest growing job title for new graduates. Interesting. Number 3, data center technicians. Data center technicians? Shout out to our Sunday episodes of DevOps. Like, we're learning DevOps because data center technicians probably goes well in hand with data center technicians. System engineers as well. Very, very important. That also has a part to take. It takes in software engineering, AI engineering, DevOps. All of those are similar to system engineering. They have a role to play. Financial planning and analysis specialist. What? Imagine that. Imagine that. A financial planning and analysis specialist is the number 5 top growing role for new grads. So many opportunities, all right? And people will squander these opportunities away. Business development representative, BDR. Shout out to those who tech sales and all of that. Shout out to my guys, Tech Niche Tips, Joseph over there, and Tech Bags Trey. Shout out to Trey and Joseph. Talk that tech. Administrative analyst, product associate, service desk specialist, and what's a clinician? What is a clinician? That sounds like you need some type of, I would think you need like some type of medical license for a clinician. I don't know. Anyways, those are the top 10 fastest growing job titles for new grads. So my message to you, be very, very careful at the beginning of what your major is so that you don't end up with a lot of college debt. So be careful what school you go to. Be careful what degree you get. Be careful what student loans you have. So that way you can make the right choices with your life, because guess what? Rod Brown might have empathy for you, but sorry, I have none left for you. All right?
I'm just being honest.
All right. Anyways, let's go back to full screen. We're going to have one last segment of work. Junior says, the dryer doesn't bother me. I just thought you might like the feedback. No, honestly, I'm just messing with you, Junior, but that I appreciate you letting me know, because it's like when I chop it up and stuff, it might mess up with the sound, and I don't want extra sound messing with, so I'll fix that. But I do appreciate you letting me know.
I appreciate you.
I was just messing with you. All right. Let's get back to our last segment of work before we wrap it up for today.
It's time to do.
All right, so we are over here. Let's see. Why is it running this? Hold on. Let me see. Why is it running that? I want it to run the current file. Let's see. All right, let's do 192.168.86.40 to 192.168. Okay, I know why. All right, so 250, port 22, and it is not going. Why is it? So I think I have some type of port, or something is blocking it. The process, so another program is you're already using the port you're trying to bind your socket to. All right, how can I see? Let's see here. Bind. Let's see. So if we look at this, I'm working on, all right, so why is that? You are closing the client socket after reading only part of the data. The problem is with the close. After connection get closed, you need to initialize the connection again. Add this line inside while loop. Oh, all right, let's see. Oh, let me take this banner off. Forgot about that. All right, so they're saying that this line has to go. Wait, IP. Oh, it is inside the while loop. Yeah, that is inside the while loop because this is the basic of it. AF.NET sock stream. Let me see. Where's my resource monitor? Maybe network, maybe. Let's see here. Let's see what my network is doing here. It might be all of these. It might be all of these. Let's see. I'm afraid to just kill them, though. I'm afraid to just kill them all off. Let me take a look at this over here. So while this should be inside. They have this here too. Well, they have two whiles. Besides the close program, you need to run something like this before the call to socket. I don't know what that is. All right, let's go back. Let's take a look at another one. I don't know why I'm so zoomed in. Let's see. Let's see. You have an infinite loop for receiving data, but you close the server socket after receiving the first batch. Let me try to increase the time, or let me try to take off the timeout. Let's try to take off the timeout. So first we're gonna do just one of them. 41, port 22. All right, so if I take off the timeout and we run that again, '22. Okay, so maybe my timeout is way too small. Let's do half of a millisecond divided by 500. Should be half a millisecond, right? Yeah. Let's try that. 192, 168, 86 dot. And we're also closing, for whatever reason they fail. Dot 40. Actually, no, I'm just going to do 41 again. So yeah, we're able to connect on that. So now let's run it again. 192, 168, 86 dot 40 to 192, 168, 86 dot 250, port 22. Okay. What? There we go. We have port 41 and port 47. We're closing our sockets. I'm going to throw one of those on here too, just in case. Let's do it one more time. 192, 168, 86.250 or dot 40 all the way to 192, 168, 86.250. Port 22 and only connected on 41. But did not connect on 47 this time. It's a bit inconsistent. Let me see. There might need to be like, I don't know, because it should always find it on port 47. So it connected this time, but last time it didn't. Let's do the timeout as 1 second, right? Let's do the timeout as 1 second. Although, I think 1 second is too high. Let's do... Can I do 0.75? Let me see if I do 0.75. 192, 168, 86.40. 192, 168, 86.250. Port 22. So eventually got the no route to host. I'm going to say if I get the no route to host, I am going to output let's see, N IP address and let's say port and let's do Let's take that one out and let's do it like that. All right, let's try this. Let me see what happens. Uh, 40. What's that? 250. 22. So on 49, it got no route to host, but then it went through all the other ones. Does take a little bit longer at 0.75, but you know, connection stuff. All right, so okay, so now we're gonna try to run this again. But this time we're going to do a range of IP addresses, of ports. Let's do 40 to, let's do to 50. And we say, let's do, I forgot the ports that were open on there. So let's do port 22, let's do port 20 to 1000. And let's see how long that takes. Let's see if this works first. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because if we're doing point, so the reason we're not seeing anything right now is because, okay, there we go. So it just went through port 40. So the first time, the reason we weren't seeing anything at the time is because it was going to port 40 and there was nothing there. Now it's going through port, now it's going to port 41. Found all those open ports. Now it's probably going to 42. Then it's going to go to 43. And there's nothing going to be there all the way until it gets to port 47. And so it's going to be interesting. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see here. All right, so that's doing its thing. So we know, so this is working. So while this is updating, I am going to clean some stuff up. Actually, I'll leave that there. But I am going to go to, actually, no, I don't need this one. We got that. Let's see. So this one is done. Handle passing in just, we got that one done. Loop through a range, we got that one done. Check if we need to update how the test is passing in data or vice versa. That is good. Write out more tests for different scenarios. So this one we need to do. What can I put for this one? Let's go with that one. So wow, so okay, look at that. Ooh, look at that. There's something on port. There's something on port 45. I didn't know that. Our port scanner is working. So on port 80 on IP address .45, we have found something open. Our port scanner at work. Our past few weeks of hard work paying off. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna say up next for May 15th, 2025, we're going to say, write out more tests. I'm gonna just copy this one right here. And we're going to say, let's see, so test for, so figure out how to pass data into input from PyTest. So by that I mean in here, we need to be able to figure out how to, like, when we call this, we're gonna make this better where we can pass something into it and it's not we just gotta be able to bypass the input field so that when we run the test, it's treating it as we're doing the input. So we have that. Let's see. Write test for a list of IP addresses. Write test for a list of ports. Write test for a comma separated list of, and I honestly, shame on me, because I should, like, I mean, honestly, the best way to do it is like write the test first and then write your code, but I wanted to see how this stuff works. So when I want to explore, I start writing the code first. But writing production code, you should definitely write your test first and see how that goes, right? For a comma separated list of ports, and then make sure that we have write tests for a single IP address. Write tests for a single port. Also through make functions have single responsibility, i.e. one function for IPs, one for port. Yeah, that is about it. Okay, where is this thing at? Probably if the next one is at 47, it should have been there by now. I don't know. Maybe it crashed. Well, no, I haven't gotten any. I haven't gotten any of these errors yet, so it's probably just not at 47 yet. I think we're going all the way to 50. Yeah, we're going to 50, so let's just wait for it and see what happens. Let's see. So we have our to-do list for next week to do. And so all this stuff that we're going to be looking into next week. So hopefully next week we can write our test to make this a little bit more official, and then we can, and I'll probably, I'll push it up to GitHub next week, and then make a repo for it, and then so I can share it with you guys in case you're interested in pulling it in, looking at it, and then we will move on from there. So next week we're going to be writing our test. We're going to be refactoring and testing our port scanner that we've built over the past few weeks, over the past month. And then we will move on to the next part of the course. All right, let's see. So I don't know what this thing is doing, but oops, where am I? Let's see. Let's see this thing. I don't know. It kind of tailed off on me. That's why it's good to have, maybe next, you know what, let me add a note to this. We should write an error log and write an error log and write a standard output log to a file to troubleshoot failed scenarios. Let's do that.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Yeah, I mean, that's about it. I don't know. I'll let this thing run. I mean, hopefully it'll finish and give us the data. I don't know if it's because it is stuck or if it's still running through all the ports that we specified, because we did from 20 to 1,000, and we don't have a way of seeing it right now. If it's at like maybe 40, I mean, from 45 to 47, we should have been seeing the ones on port 47 already. But whatever. Anyways, let's go back to full screen, and we are going to wrap the show up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for following along with me as we continue to build out this port scanner. A lot of code, a lot of work, a lot of research, but this is what makes it. This is why we do what we do.
It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
And on that note, we have to wrap up the show. So, real quick, tomorrow we're going to be releasing our next episode of The Bug Bite. We're going to be talking about an XAI engineer leaking API keys for some of their large language models, including Tesla, and was SpaceX part of it? I know Tesla was part of it. I'm not sure who the other company was, but we're going to be talking about that tomorrow noon Eastern time. Looking forward to seeing you there. It's going to be really good, really important. And that is about it. So with that being said, on our way out, do me a big favor if you haven't done so already. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. TechCodeDrop.dev. Sign up today for exclusive content. Like I said, this weekend I'm going to be working on chopping up the meetup that we had with Magnetar over last weekend, and sharing that with you guys throughout the next coming weeks. All of that good stuff. TechCodeDrop.dev. Don't hesitate. Sign up today. You can sign up for free. Maybe upgrade later on. Who knows? But you can sign up for free to have the information available. Thank you to all those who watched on X as well, and those who were watching on the Twitch, who followed and subscribed, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. We are the best.
We the best.
But on that note, with all of that being said, thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful night. TechCodeDrop. We are out.
People yap about the dreams they chase, big plans on show in a noisy space, talking loud but moving slow, hollow words where actions go. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Empty promises fill the air. Procrastination everywhere. Stop the act, just make the move. Whoa. Show your grind, let talent groove. Whoa. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Enough of words, let's see the deeds. Don't just plant but sow the seeds. Show the grit beneath your skin. Let the real work begin. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Enough of words, let's see the deeds. Don't just plant but sow the seeds. Show the grit beneath your skin. Let the real work begin. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Show the grit beneath your skin. Let the real work begin. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay.